Stunt Car Racer, or Stunt Track Racer as it was known in the States, is a British developed Amiga game from Geoff Crammond of the famous Macroprose Grand Prix line of games. Before Geoff got all serious though, he made a few different games including this. Unlike most racing games of the time, Stunt Car Racer is fully 3D and takes place upon elevated tracks. This alone gives the game a cool style as you are chain lifted onto each track. During the game you are able to practice on any given track without restrictions. This is very useful as some of the tracks are quite tricky to master. The main meat of the game is the championship mode. Within this mode you take part in a racing heat against other rivals. You must take care while racing though, as damage to your car occurs if you land too hard on the track after driving over a crest too fast, or if you crash off the track, and so on. If the damage, which is indicated by a crack in the frame at the top of the screen, reaches a certain level, the vehicle is deemed to be wrecked, causing you to lose the race instantly. It should be also pointed out that players can compete against other players using two computers connected via a null modem cable, each with their own TV or monitor. Well, on the Amiga and Atari ST versions at least. Next up is the Atari ST version, and in all honesty it's pretty much the same as the Amiga version. The only real noticeable difference is the audio, which isn't as good. The actual gameplay though is spot on. Frame rate seems to be about, if not the same, and the graphics are identical. A great version for sure. So on to the first of the 8-bit ports, and it's for the ZX Spectrum. Now while it's very cool to see 3D polygons, or would these be line vectors? Anyway, while it's cool to see these on the Speccy, it's not as fun to play as the Amiga or ST game, simply due to how low the frame rate is. This makes the controls very sluggish, which caused a lot of issues for me when trying to stay on the track. The draw-in doesn't help either, as it breaks the illusion of being on a track suspended above the ground. Still, like I said, it is nice to see this on the Speccy. From the title screen, it would seem that this Amstrad CPC version is going to be a straight port of the ZX Spectrum game, but it isn't. This is an actual Amstrad CPC original version. Good to see, and as a result it runs a little faster than the ZX Spectrum. The controls are also slightly more refined, but not by much. Again, just like the Specky port, this is nice to see on the CPC, but it kinda falls short. Now this was a pleasant surprise. Commodore 64 port, while keeping the same presentation as the Amstrad and Specky, actually plays much better and runs just as well as the Amiga and ST. This is a very impressive port. It's just a shame it doesn't include the winning or losing images after each race. Back to the more powerful computers now with the MS-DOS port, although by looking at it in stills, you'd be forgiven in thinking this was the Commodore 64 version. Yes, this MS-DOS port sure looks ugly and has a surprising amount of pop-in, but it plays really well, and I mean really well. It feels better than the original versions even. It's just a shame it looks nasty. This unofficial remake sure looks smoother than all the other versions, and so it should, considering it's running on a modern Windows 10 PC. The problem is that this doesn't play anywhere near as well as the original Amiga or ST versions. It's also missing many features, such as the crane lifting you onto the track. Still, it is nice for a quick mess about. And let's take a look at all those versions of Stunt Car Racer running side by side.